trip. You're asking too many questions, Grasshopper. Way too many questions.
Galaviz into the courtroom.
James, I can't see
favor,
nothing.
pase Juan
You're too zoomed in.
Arras Galaviz
Oh shit,
a la
we're
sala.
matching.
Good morning. Can I please have your full name and date of birth?
Buenos días. Por favor, diga su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento.
There we go.
0923 de 1978. Mi nombre es Juan Antonio Lizarraraz Galaviz.
He's talking, but his lips are not moving. How do you do that, James? Are you a ventriloquist?
My
Is there
name
any
is
Yuma?
Juan
No sé.
Antonio Lizarraraz
It's not yet.
Galaviz. My date of birth
I
is
didn't.
September 23rd, 1978.
Thank you very much. You are here on allegations of new charges.
Muy bien, gracias. Usted comparece por acusaciones nuevas.
The allegations against you are one count of dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony, and one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a class 6 felony.
Las acusaciones que hay en su contra son posesión o uso de droga nociva, un delito de categoría 4, y posesión o uso de adminículos para el consumo de drogas, delito de categoría 6.
I have found probable cause to support the drug paraphernalia allegation. I have not found probable cause to support the dangerous drug possession allegation.
Up to the 10th.
Dicto que hay fundamento fáctico para la acusación de adminículos para el consumo de drogas, pero no hay motivos de procesamiento, no hay fundamento fáctico suficiente para la acusación de posesión o uso de droga nociva.
Thank you. Okay, I have determined you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer, and I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you.
Dicto que usted califica para un abogado de libre oficio y he asignado a un abogado de la Defensoría Pública para que le represente.
Your next court hearings will be a status conference, April 29th, and then a preliminary hearing May 1st, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown.
Sus siguientes comparecencias serán una consulta de actualización el 29 de abril, y una audiencia preliminar el día 1 de mayo, ambas a las 8:30 en el Tribunal Superior en el centro de la ciudad.
On the paraphernalia possession allegation that I found probable cause to support, I am releasing you on your own recognizance.
Por la acusación de posesión de adminículos, dicto que hay en la cual dicté que hay fundamento fáctico, lo dejaré en libertad bajo caución juratoria.
That means you will be released from custody on this allegation, and it will be your responsibility to get yourself to both of your next court hearings.
Esto quiere decir que usted estará en libertad pendiente hoy las siguientes comparecencias que tiene y será su responsabilidad de hacerse llegar y presentarse en esas diligencias.
Now
Once
I'm
you
doing
are released from
translations
custody,
too.
you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
Una vez que usted salga de la cárcel, tendrá prohibido tener drogas sin una receta médica válida.
Do you understand those conditions?
¿Entiende estas condiciones?
Sí.
Yes.
Sí.
Thank you very much. You can work your way back to your
I
left
never
to get
heard
your
that one.
paperwork.
Muchas gracias. Pase por sus...
Hey, I was
papeles.
watching that when I was doing the Vietnamese
Okay,
translation.
Mr. Interpreter, those were the only two
yesterday.
matters I had marked as requiring or requesting an interpreter, but if you would please make an inquiry of the gallery before you disconnect. I want to make sure we don't miss anybody that needs your assistance.
He's gonna be
Yes,
right
ma'am.
on the pipa.
Hola, buenos días a todos. ¿Hay alguien más en la sala que necesita intérprete de español? Levante la mano, por favor.
Raise your hand, please.
Okay, I am told there are no raised hands. Thank you very much for being here, Mr.
Thank
Hernandez.
you,
You're
too,
free to
for
disconnect.
subscribing. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
And for those of you that are new
Okay,
here,
can I please have David Luna into the courtroom? Stephen Eddington, if you would please work your way to that first chair.
if you guys could check
inside
us out
the
on
door. Sarah Smith,
on
if I
YT
could ask you to work your way to the second chair.
at
Can
Collect
I have
Call
your name and date
From.
of birth, please, sir?
David Luna, March 2nd, 1981.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. You are here on two different matters. The first matter that you're here on is allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of narcotic drug possession, 1 count of dangerous drug possession, 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. Those 3 allegations are Class 4 felonies. 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of failing to admit you were carrying a deadly weapon. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations. I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference April 21st and then a preliminary hearing April 23rd, both of them at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On those new allegations, I have imposed a $7,500 secured appearance bond. The second matter that you're here on is an allegation that those new charges violate term 1 of your probation. I've also appointed the Public Defender's Office for you in that probation case. Your next hearing on the probation matter will be a revocation arraignment hearing, same date and time as your first hearing on the new charges. So April 21st at 8:30, you'll have a hearing in both of the probation and new case. On the probation matter, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. So your total bond for both cases will be $8,000. It is all secured appearance. You can use a bonding company to post that. If you do post that bond and you are released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. And if you are released from custody within 3 days of being released, you have to call your probation officer. Do you understand those conditions? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Luna. You can work your way back and get your paperwork. Stephen Eddington, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Mr. Smith, if I could ask you to shift to the first chair, and then if I could ask Christopher Lee to move into the second chair, I would appreciate it. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Stephen Eddington, 12280.
Thank you, Mr. Eddington. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of aggravated domestic violence, that's a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of interfering with judicial proceedings by disobeying a court order, that one's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations. I have appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference April 21st and then a preliminary hearing April 23rd. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On these allegations, I have imposed a $5,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that bond prior to your release from custody, you will be affixed with an ankle monitor for electronic monitoring. If you post that bond and you are released on that ankle monitor, you cannot return to the scene where these alleged offenses were committed. You also must strictly comply with the terms of any orders of protection, if any have been or are later served upon you. And you cannot possess any weapons or possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am. I'm asking the court for an OR bond. I literally just started working.
Don't give me that. I just started working.
It's a confusing situation.
No,
right now, was in the process of moving.
What a raven!
Like literally everything that I own, my dog as well, are in limbo. And I'm asking the court for a little bit of leniency. I mean,
I'm not inclined to release you on your own recognizance, not only based on the nature of these allegations, but the fact that similar allegations have led to arrests and convictions in the recent past. I'm also not inclined to release you without a bond based on your history of failing to appear at court hearings. So you will have to post that $5,000 bond in order to be eligible for release. Any other questions, Mr. Eddington?
Next!
Thank you very much. You can work your way back and get your paperwork.
Damn, James, you're cold. You're a cold piece, James.
Into the courtroom, Jacob Einiger, the DeMartini.
Up next on The Price is Wrong.
Second chair, please.
Hey, look, we're matching. We're like twins.
Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Pharisee Smith II, 52781.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. You are here on 2 probation violation warrants. In both cases, petitions to revoke your probation have been filed. They both allege that you have violated terms 2, 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation. I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you in both probation cases. Your next court hearing in each of those 2 cases will be a revocation arraignment hearing. It will take place April 21st at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. And on each of those 2 warrants, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. So your total bond for both cases will be $5,000. It is all secured appearance. If you post that and you are released, you cannot possess any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription. And if you are released from custody, you must contact your probation officer within 24 hours of your release. Do you understand those conditions? Okay, thank you, Mr.
No,
Smith.
so the reason I got this, done is because somebody came in the chat
Lee,
and they said they couldn't wait for me to be in orange. So I was like, shit, well, let me accommodate their wishes. They had another wish to get deported, but that one will accommodate them some other day.
For Cleveland Lee, 3/9/1987.
Thank you very much. Is your last name, maybe there's no hyphen, but is your full legal last name Cleveland Lee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It should be hyphenated.
Oh, so there is a hyphen in it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is your full name, first name Christopher, middle name Roosevelt, last name Cleveland Lee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Cleveland Lee. I apologize I didn't get that right. They had left the Cleveland off in one of the cases, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, you're hearing two different matters. The first matter is a probation violation warrant. In that case, a petition to revoke your probation was filed. It alleges that you have violated terms 6 and 7. I have appointed the public defender's office to represent you in that probation matter. Your next court hearing in that case will be a revocation arraignment April 21st at 8:30 in the probation court downtown here in Phoenix. On that warrant, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. The other matter that you're here on is a failure to comply with court terms warrant. That one was issued by the Tolleson Municipal Court. It looks like the underlying allegation in that case is a misdemeanor driving under the influence allegation. I think this is a post-disposition warrant though, so it probably has something to do with failing to pay a fine or a fee or failing to take a class or something like that. On that misdemeanor warrant, you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of release conditions. Your lawyer in that misdemeanor case, though, will be appointed by the next judge you see at your next hearing. That hearing on the misdemeanor warrant will be an arraignment hearing April 21st at 8:30 in the Tolleson Municipal Court. Here's the deal, and you have a $50 bond on that warrant. So here's the deal with this. You have two different hearings at the same date, on the same date at the same time in two different courts. I don't have control over those court dates or times. I wish I did so that I could change them for you. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is call the Tolleson court on your misdemeanor warrant. You have the phone number to that court in your release paperwork, so keep that. Give them a call and see if perhaps whatever's going on in that court is something that you can work out with them without having to go to that court hearing. If it's failure to pay a fine, maybe you could either just pay it or set up a payment arrangement and then that hearing wouldn't be needed. But if you can't work something out without having to go to court, I encourage you to call them and see if you can get a different court hearing date or time. I think if you call them and let them know that you have a superior court probation hearing on the same date and time, if you can provide them the case number, they should be willing to work with you so that you can make both hearings. But if you do nothing and you just go to one of them, then you're going to pick up a new warrant in the case that you don't go to that court hearing on. So make sure you keep your paperwork, keep your the court phone numbers handy. See if you can get that worked out before the 21st so that one of the courts will move the date for you. I think you're probably going to have more luck getting the Tolleson court to move your hearing than the probation court. So leaving here, you'll have a $550 bond total. It's all secured appearance. You can use a bonding company. If you don't post that and you stay in custody, MCSO is going to take you to one of those hearings, but not the other. So you'll still be in a similar situation. Okay. So still keep those phone numbers. Hopefully you can work it out before you miss a court hearing. But if you don't, just know that if you went to one hearing and not the other, there's probably a warrant in that other case for you. So you can always call them and work it out after if you do miss that hearing. Okay, any questions?
Yes, ma'am. So would I be eligible for
No.
release?
Absolutely not.
Without the bond?
The only reason you're not is because of the probation violation warrant, because that bond was imposed by the probation court when that warrant was issued. So the leniency that I have is on the misdemeanor warrant, and it looks like that warrant asked for, it looks like they're, is it 1,000 or is it say 10,000? The misdemeanor bond asks for a
Brent,
higher bond. The misdemeanor warrant asks for, I can't tell if it says 1,000 or 10,000, but that's the one I dropped to 50. I can
How can you drop it
release you on your own recognizance on the Tollison warrant, but I can't take the $500 bond off the probation warrant. So I'm willing to do that, but if I do that and you don't post the bond on the probation warrant, then MCSO is not going to know you have a hearing for the Tollison case.
Okay.
So I'm happy to do that. Then you only have the $500 bond, but if you didn't post that, MCSO is not going to take you to Tollison, which may not matter because your hearing would have been the same date. You have to go to probation anyway.
And is that 500 like is that to the bonding company?
Cash money.
50 or is that?
I don't want to give you false information. I don't know. So my general understanding is that most bonding companies require a minimum of 10% down, which would be $50. Mm-hmm. But any agreement that you make with the bonding company would be between you and the bonding company and not the court. So I don't know specifically what they might require in your case. But I will tell you, back in the jail facility, there's a list of bonding companies and their phone numbers. You can always find one of those and call all of those companies and see what their requirements might be and see if there's one that might be able to work with your circumstances.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to take the bond off the misdemeanor warrant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that might be good news. Well, it is good news because you're going to have $50 less, but it's going to change your hearing date. Two things are going to happen when I take that bond off. One, it's going to change your hearing date, and two is you're no longer going to be entitled to a lawyer. So on the misdemeanor warrant, you're not going to get a court-appointed lawyer because the lawyer was only being appointed because there was a bond on there. Right. So no bond means you don't get a lawyer, and now your court date in Tollison is going to be May 5th at 8:30. So when you go to the probation court on the 21st, if they take that bond off and release you, or if you've already posted it and you're out of custody, you should be able to get yourself then to Tollison on May 5th. If you go to your probation hearing on the 21st and you end up back in custody for some reason, please be mindful that you still have that hearing May 5th. And if you can't make it to that hearing on your own on the 5th, same thing, work with them, try and call them before or after you miss that hearing, knowing that there might be a warrant. Okay, so now you'll have a $500 bond. You'll have court downtown for your probation case May 21st, and then out in Tollison on May 5th, both of them at 8:30 in the morning. Any other questions?
Both court dates are in May.
No, your probation court hearing is April 21st. Did I say May? I'm sorry, it's April 21st. April 21st on the probation case, May 5th on the Tollison case. Okay, that'll all be in your paperwork. We won't get it wrong in the paperwork, even if I say it wrong. So you'll have it April 21st, May 5th in your paperwork. You've got address and phone number to both courts.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Cleveland Lee?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. You can work your way back and get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Jacob Einiger DiMartini, if you would please work your way into the courtroom.
Hey, this judge is pretty nice.
Macias, if you would work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Jacob Einiger DiMartini, 12/26/91.
12, what was the day?
26.
26. Thank you, Mr. Einiger DiMartini. You are here on a probation violation warrant. A petition to revoke your probation was filed. It alleges that you have violated terms 1, 3, and 5 of your probation. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next court hearing will be a revocation arraignment. It'll be April 21st at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that probation warrant, you have a $450 secured appearance bond. If you post that and you are released from custody, you are ordered not to possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. And if you post that bond and you are released from custody, you have to call your probation officer within 72 hours, which is 3 days. So if you're out, you have 3 days after you get out to call your probation officer. Do you understand those conditions?
What up, corn dog?
There's no way I can be released.
Hell
Not
no.
without posting that bond. Any other questions?
What's the bond?
$450.
Is there any way you can lower it?
No, I'm not the one that issued it. It was done by the probation court. So I'm not going to modify that bond and warrant issued out of the probation court. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Next!
Michael Larson, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Anthony Torres, if I could ask you to work your way to the second chair.
Up next on The Price is Wrong.
Hi, can I have your name and date of birth, please?
I don't take requests.
Michael David Larson, July 14th, 1997.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. You are here on a probation violation warrant. A petition to revoke your probation was filed. It alleges that you have violated terms 3 and 5. I have appointed a lawyer to defend you in the probation proceeding. Your next court hearing will be a revocation arraignment April 21st at 8:30. It'll be down in the probation court downtown. And you have a $250 secured appearance bond on that warrant. If you post that and you are released, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. And if you are released, you will have 72 hours, which is 3 days after you're released, to call your probation officer.
I understand.
Okay, you understand all those conditions?
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Larson. You can work your way back and
There is no way you can lower the bond or...
I'm not willing to override the bond issued by the probation court. Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Can you lower it
Never
to $2? Hey, who saw that guy that got
Lopez Macias to the podium in the courtroom, please?
his bond was $5? The judge went down from like 10 to 5. I was like, what? Come on now. You can't bail out on $5?
Can I have your name and date of birth?
You definitely burned a lot of bridges.
Hernán Lopez Macias,
And what's your date of birth?
9495.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lopez Macias. You are here on a failure to appear warrant issued by the Encanto Justice Court on a criminal speeding and driving on a suspended license case. You are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of release conditions on that warrant, and I've appointed one for you. Your next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing April 16th. It will be at 8:30 in the Encanto Justice Court, and you have a $50 secured appearance bond on that warrant.
Thank you, Mama.
If you post that bond and you are released from custody, you will be responsible for getting yourself to that court hearing, and you cannot operate a motor vehicle if you don't have a valid driver's license if you're released from custody.
He's probably still in jail right now.
Do you understand those conditions?
This was last week.
Is there any way like I could
No.
take that bond away because I have to go to work?
Yeah, we all gotta go to work.
The reason that you have a bond on that case is because it's my understanding you're also being held on a city court or a municipal court bond. So if I remove that and bonds don't get posted, you're going to pick up new failure to appear warrants.
If I don't show up to court?
Well, you won't show up to court if you don't post that bond because MCSO is not going to take you to this court hearing without a bond. Right, so if I release you on this, you still have a bond in another case. So you're still being held in custody. And if that happens, MCSO is not going to take you to this court hearing. So you're going to pick up a new warrant.
You just got to get picked up in Arizona.
All right, any other questions?
Ooh, lunch is here.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Gracias,
Lopez.
mi amor.
You can step back and get your
you.
paperwork.
You're the greatest.
Anthony Torres, if you would please work your way into the courtroom.
Morning. Got some eggs, some tater tots, piece of bread, some ketchup. Oh, and some pico de gallo.
Anthony Christopher.
Sheesh, bon appetit to me.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is one count of criminal trespassing. It is a class 2 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support that allegation. Because it is a misdemeanor allegation, the nature of that charge does not entitle you to a court-appointed lawyer. You do still have the right to have a lawyer defend you. It's just that you will have to hire a lawyer at your own expense if you wish to be represented. Your next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing April 29th. It will be at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Santan Justice Court. I am releasing you on your own recognizance on this allegation. So you are going to be released from custody. That means two things. One, it's going to be your responsibility to get yourself to that hearing.